The rain tapped softly against the cafe window as Ethan Cole stared into his untouched cup of coffee. Outside, the world rushed forward, people laughing, cars moving, life continuing without pause. Inside, Ethan felt stuck in a moment that refused to move on. 3 years earlier, his life had changed forever. His wife had passed away after a sudden illness, leaving him alone with their newborn daughter, Lily. In a single moment, Ethan had become both mother and father. The nights were the hardest. Lily would cry, and Ethan would hold her gently, whispering promises he wasn't sure he could keep. "I'll take care of you," he would say softly. No matter what happens. Years passed, but grief never truly left. It simply became quieter, hidden behind responsibilities and small daily victories. Ethan learned how to braid Lily's hair by watching online tutorials late at night. He learned how to pack school lunches shaped like hearts so she wouldn't feel different from other children. He learned how to smile even when exhaustion lived in his bones. Despite everything, Lily grew up cheerful and kind. She was the kind of child who believed every sad story deserved a happy ending. One evening, while coloring at the kitchen table, Lily looked up and asked, "Daddy, do you think sad stories can change?" Ethan smiled gently. "Sometimes they do." She nodded confidently. "Then ours will too." Ethan wished he had her certainty. He worked as a freelance graphic designer from home so he could be there whenever Lily needed him. The work paid little, but flexibility mattered more than money. Still, bills piled up, and stress quietly grew. One morning, while checking emails, he noticed a job opportunity from one of the biggest companies in the city, Ardent Enterprises. The CEO, Sophia Bennett, was famous for her intelligence and determination. People described her as brilliant but distant. She had built her empire before the age of 35 and was respected in every business circle. Ethan hesitated before applying. People like Sophia lived in a different world. But Lily needed better opportunities, a better school, a safer future. So he applied. The Ardent Enterprises building stood tall and impressive, reflecting the sky across its glass walls. Ethan felt small walking into the luxurious lobby filled with confident professionals dressed in expensive suits. He wasn't like them. His blazer was simple, his shoes slightly worn. But his portfolio was filled with designs created from emotion, not trends. When Sophia Bennett entered the room, every conversation stopped. She carried herself with calm authority. Her sharp eyes noticed everything, missing nothing. When Ethan's turn came, he presented his work quietly but sincerely. His designs focused on human connection, warmth, and storytelling. Sophia studied his work carefully. "What inspires your designs?" she asked. Ethan answered honestly.
For a brief second,
Life,
something
loss,
softened in
hope,
her expression.
the emotions people
But business
try to
decisions
hide.
required
For a
logic,
brief second,
not emotion.
something
2
softened
days
in
later,
her
Ethan
expression.
received an email.
But business
Application
decisions
rejected.
required logic,
He wasn't
not
surprised.
emotion. 2 days
Dreams
later,
rarely changed
Ethan
reality.
received an email.
A week later, Lily's
Application
school
rejected.
hosted a small
He
art
wasn't
exhibition.
surprised.
Parents
Dreams
filled
rarely
the hall,
changed
admiring
reality.
colorful
A week
drawings
later,
taped carefully
Lily's
onto
school
the walls.
hosted a small art
Ethan
exhibition.
searched for Lily's
Parents
artwork
filled
when
the
he noticed
hall,
a familiar
admiring
face near the
colorful
entrance.
drawings taped carefully onto
Sophia
the walls.
Bennett stood quietly,
Ethan
dressed
searched
simply.
for Lily's
Without the
artwork when he
powerful
noticed a
presence she
familiar
carried at the
face near
office.
the entrance.
She noticed Ethan too.
Sophia Bennett
"You're
stood
Ethan,"
quietly,
she said politely.
dressed simply, without the
nodded.
powerful
"Yes,"
presence she
from
carried
the
in the
interview.
office.
She looked
She
slightly
noticed
uncomfortable.
Ethan too. "You're
"My
Ethan,"
niece studies
she
here."
said politely.
Before the
He nodded.
conversation could
"Yes,"
continue,
from the interview.
Lily ran toward
She
Ethan,
looked
proudly
slightly
holding a drawing.
uncomfortable. "My niece
It showed a
studies
father
here."
and daughter
Before
standing
the
under a bright
conversation
sun.
could continue,
Sophia
Lily ran
crouched
toward
down
Ethan,
to Lily's
proudly
level.
holding a
"Did
drawing.
you paint this?"
It showed
Lily
a
nodded
father
happily.
and daughter
me
standing
and my
under a
daddy.
bright sun.
Sophia noticed the empty
crouched down
space
to
where a
Lily's
mother
level.
might have been.
"Did you paint this?"
"No, Mommy?"
Lily nodded
she
happily.
asked gently.
"That's me and my
Lily
daddy."
smiled softly.
Sophia
She lives
noticed
in the
the empty
sky.
space where a
Sophia
mother might have
understood
been.
immediately.
"No, Mommy."
For the first time,
asked
she saw
gently.
Ethan not as
Lily
an applicant,
smiled softly.
but as a
"She
man
lives in
carrying
the
invisible
sky."
weight with quiet
Sophia
strength.
understood
2 days
immediately.
later,
For the first
Ethan
time,
received an
she saw
unexpected
Ethan
message
not as an
requesting a
applicant,
private
but as a
meeting
man
with Sophia.
carrying invisible weight
They met
with
at a
quiet
quiet
strength.
restaurant.
2
Sophia
days
spoke
later,
directly,
Ethan
as
received
always.
an
"I
unexpected
didn't reject
message
you because you
requesting a
lacked
private
skill,"
meeting
she
with
explained.
Sophia.
"I
They met
rejected
at a
you
quiet
because you deserve
restaurant.
more than that
Sophia
role."
spoke directly,
Ethan looked
as
confused.
always.
Sophia
"I didn't
continued
reject
calmly.
you because you lacked
"My company's
skill,"
board
she
believes a
explained.
married CEO
"I
appears
rejected
more
you
stable
because
to
you
investors.
deserve more than that role."
They want me to settle
Ethan
down.
looked confused.
Ethan didn't understand
Sophia
why she was
continued
telling him
calmly.
this.
"My company's
Then she
board
said
believes
something
a
that
married
changed
CEO
everything.
appears more
"I
stable
want you
to
to
investors."
pretend to be my husband."
They want me to
Ethan
settle
stared at
down.
her, convinced he
Ethan didn't
misunderstood.
understand why she was
This would
telling
be a
him
professional
this.
arrangement.
Then she said
Sophia
something that
clarified.
changed everything.
Public
I
appearances,
want you to
social
pretend
events,
to be my
a marriage in
husband.
name only.
Ethan stared at
He
her,
immediately
convinced
refused,
he misunderstood.
but Sophia gently
This
added,
would be a
the
professional
financial
arrangement.
compensation would
Sophia
secure Lily's
clarified.
future.
Public
Ethan's thoughts
appearances,
became
social
conflicted.
events, a
He
marriage
didn't
in
like the
name
idea.
only.
But he loved his
immediately
daughter more than
refused,
his pride.
But Sophia gently
After many
added, the
discussions, they
financial
agreed on clear
compensation would
boundaries.
secure Lily's
It
future.
would be temporary,
Ethan's
strictly
thoughts
professional,
became conflicted.
no emotional
He
involvement.
didn't like the idea,
At least that was the
but he
plan.
loved his daughter
Lily
more
met
than his
Sophia
pride.
a week later.
After
She
many
studied Sophia
discussions, they
carefully
agreed
before
on clear
asking an
boundaries.
unexpected question.
It would be temporary,
Are you a
strictly
princess?
professional,
Sophia
no
blinked in
emotional
surprise.
involvement.
No.
At least, that
Lily
was the
smiled
plan.
confidently.
Lily met Sophia
You
a
look
week
like one.
later. She
Sophia
studied
didn't know
Sophia
how to
carefully
respond.
before asking
She
an
had
unexpected
negotiated
question.
million-dollar
Are
deals
you a
without
princess?
hesitation.
Sophia
But
blinked
this small
in surprise.
child made her feel
No.
uncertain.
Lily smiled
Over time,
confidently.
Lily's warmth
You look
slowly
like
broke
one.
through Sophia's
Sophia
emotional
didn't know
walls.
how to respond.
Sophia found
She
herself
had
reading bedtime
negotiated
stories,
million-dollar deals
trying
without
homemade
hesitation,
cookies that were
but the
slightly
small
overbaked,
child made her feel
watching
uncertain.
cartoons she didn't understand,
Over time,
laughing
Lily's
more than
warmth
she had
slowly
in
broke
years.
through Sophia's
Ethan never
emotional
treated
walls.
her like a powerful
Sophia
CEO.
found herself
treated
reading
her like a
bedtime
normal
stories,
person, and she
trying
realized she
homemade
liked
cookies that were slightly
The public
overbaked,
adored their
watching
relationship.
cartoons she
Media
didn't
outlets
understand,
described their story
laughing
as
more
modern
than she
fairy
had in
tale
years.
romance.
Ethan
But
never
behind
treated
closed
her like a
doors, something
powerful
genuine was
CEO.
growing.
He treated her
Sophia
like a normal
admired Ethan's
person,
patience
and she
kindness.
realized she liked
Ethan
that.
admired
The
Sophia's
public
strength
adored
and
their
dedication.
relationship.
One
Media
evening,
outlets
Sophia
described
asked
their
quietly,
story as modern
"Don't you
fairy
ever
tale
feel
romance.
overwhelmed?"
But behind
Ethan
closed
smiled
doors,
gently.
something
Love
genuine
doesn't
was
feel
growing.
heavy when it matters.
Sophia admired
His words
Ethan's
stayed in her
patience and
mind long
kindness.
after the conversation
Ethan
ended.
admired Sophia's strength
Months
and
passed quickly.
dedication. One
Sophia's
evening,
company
Sophia
stabilized.
asked quietly,
The board felt
"Don't you ever
satisfied.
feel overwhelmed?"
Their agreement was nearly
Ethan
complete.
smiled gently.
But something
Love
felt
doesn't
wrong.
feel heavy when it
Sophia's
matters.
home felt
His
emptier
words
thinking
stayed in her
about
mind
Ethan
long
leaving.
after the conversation
Lily overheard
ended.
Ethan mention
Months
the contract
passed
ending
quickly.
and ran to Sophia
Sophia's
with worried
company
eyes.
stabilized.
Is
The
Daddy
board
going
felt
away?
satisfied.
Sophia
Their
didn't know
agreement
how to
was
answer.
nearly complete.
For the first
But
time in her
something
life,
felt wrong.
success didn't feel
Sophia's
important.
home felt
She
emptier
realized
thinking
she
about
didn't
Ethan
want the
leaving.
arrangement to end.
Lily overheard Ethan
Sophia
mention the
found Ethan
contract
quietly
ending and
packing
ran
his
to Sophia
belongings.
with worried eyes.
"You don't have to go,"
Is
she
Daddy
said
going
softly.
away?
Ethan
Sophia
looked
didn't know
surprised.
how to answer.
The agreement ends
For the
tomorrow.
first time in her life,
Sophia took a deep
success
breath.
didn't feel
"I
important.
don't want an agreement anymore."
She realized she
Her voice
didn't want
trembled
the
slightly.
arrangement to end.
"I built my life
Sophia
believing
found Ethan
emotions
quietly
made people
packing his
weak.
belongings.
But you
"You
and
don't
Lily
have to
showed me
go,"
something
she
different.
said softly.
Ethan listened
looked
silently.
surprised.
Sophia
The agreement
continued
ends
honestly.
tomorrow.
"You brought
Sophia
warmth
took
into
a
a
deep
life
breath.
that only knew
"I don't
ambition."
want an agreement anymore."
She looked directly
Her
into his
voice
eyes.
trembled slightly.
"I don't need a
"I
pretend
built my
husband
life
anymore.
believing emotions
I
made
want a real
people
one."
weak.
The room
But you
felt
and Lily
still.
showed me something
Ethan had
different.
never expected this.
Ethan listened silently.
He had entered her world for
Sophia
stability.
continued honestly.
But somewhere
"You
along
brought
the way,
warmth
they had
into a
built
life
something
that only
real.
knew ambition."
Lily suddenly
She looked
appeared,
directly
unable
into
to
his
hide her
eyes.
curiosity.
"I don't need a pretend
"Does this mean
husband
we stay
anymore.
together forever?"
I want a real one."
Sophia smiled
The room
warmly.
felt still.
"Yes."
Ethan had
Lily
never
hugged both of
expected
them
this.
tightly.
He had entered
For the first
her world
time in years,
for
Ethan
stability.
allowed himself to
But
imagine
somewhere along the
happiness
way,
again.
they had built
Love
something
hadn't
real.
come into his life
Lily
in a
suddenly
traditional way.
appeared, unable
It
to
hadn't
hide
been
her
perfect or
curiosity.
planned.
"Does
It had
this mean
started
we
with
stay
an
together
unexpected
forever?"
offer, a practical
Sophia smiled
decision,
warmly.
a temporary arrangement.
"Yes."
But sometimes
Lily
life writes
hugged
stories
both of
better
them
than
tightly.
we ever could.
For the first time in
Sometimes
years,
broken hearts find
Ethan
healing
allowed
in
himself to
unexpected
imagine
places.
happiness again.
Sometimes a shocking
Love hadn't
proposal
come into his
becomes the
life in a
beginning of
traditional
forever.
way.
And
It hadn't
sometimes
been
the love we
perfect or
fear the
planned.
most becomes the
It had
love we
started
need
with
the
an
most.
unexpected offer.
If you believe in true love, like
practical
this
decision.
video, comment
A
your favorite
temporary
moment,
arrangement.
subscribe
But
for more
sometimes life
emotional
writes
stories,
stories better than we ever
share with
could.
someone who believes in
Sometimes
destiny.
broken hearts find healing in unexpected places. Sometimes a shocking proposal becomes the beginning of forever. And sometimes, the love we fear the most becomes the love we need the most.